For Ginny and Marcus together, they're the only people that make sense to each other.
I think that's what people will really fangirl about. I mean, also, like, have you seen his cheekbones? Because
I met your mom last night.
Yeah, well, she can be very friendly.
She asked me for weed. She wasn't that friendly.
She's always 4 steps ahead of everybody.
I don't know about you, but discovering your mom is a murderer would really throw you in for a loop.
I've done things I'm not proud of, but I'd do them again. I'd do anything to protect my kids like no one ever protected me. Anything. It's me and you against the world, kid. Remember that.
Georgia does such an incredible job of towing the line between charming and conniving. Which of her season 1 secrets shocked you the most?
Oh my gosh. There's too many to keep track of. Georgia is very hard to keep up with. She's exhausting because she has all of these masks, all of these facades that she has to keep in line. And she's built this little house of cards for herself. I think what she does at the very, very end with the fireworks was the most shocking and satisfying scene.
Such a good line too. So good. Oh, shattering the ashes of the past. Ginny uncovers almost all of Georgia's secrets. There's still quite a few skeletons in that fashionable closet. Which one do you think was the most psychologically damaging to Ginny?
I don't know about you, but discovering your mom is a murderer would really throw you in for a loop. I mean, she knew Georgia was dangerous, what with the secret guns and the, hidden, board under the closet. But to find out, to put 2 and 2 together and say, oh, wow, my mom killed someone. That's a little bit, and you see how she covers for her. So that right there is like a red flag.
Georgia would be so proud though.
Georgia would be super proud. She's definitely the product of her mother. But yeah, I think Ginny just coming to that realization, it just was such a shock.
I feel like I don't even know who my mother is.
When we last see Ginny in the season 1 finale, she's riding off into the night with a stolen bike and her little brother on the back seat. Do you think she has enough Georgia in her to pull off this runaway from home?
I think Ginny is very smart and she knows that she has resources and, she is just going to figure it out. That's just what she's always done. That's what Georgia has always put in her. And as much as she tries not to be like her mom, she really is. She might not, go to the same extreme lengths as Georgia has, but she puts her family first. She takes her brother, and Diesel has been such a wonderful person to work with. He's super talented. And she says, hey, we got to get out of here, but I need to hear you say it. And they do. And yeah, I think she's just a really great big sister.
Felix, do you think Marcus is going to notice his bike is gone?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, maybe not, because he just came off that crash, so I don't even think he's looking about it. Personally, Felix, I was super proud to see Ginny in that moment. I love, because she's beholden to Marcus's antics through the whole series, and I think the moment where she goes, look, hey, let's put this aside because I got to deal with, I think is really beautiful, because Marcus is great and I love their connection, but he does come with a lot of baggage, and for Ginny to stand up for herself and actually just take charge was beautiful to see.
We're just friends, right?
Yeah, friends.
Tony, I feel like fans are going to be shipping the hell out of Ginny and Marcus. They're so irresistible. Y'all are about to get flooded with all that shipper attention. What do you think it is about this pairing that's just so irresistible?
I think, especially with Marcus and the way Felix plays him and the way the character is written, Marcus subverts your expectations. You start off thinking, oh, he's going to be that typical bad boy who treats the girl poorly, but you realize he has a past as well. He has things that he struggles with. And I think that's where Ginny and Marcus really bond.
For Ginny and Marcus together, they're the only people that make sense to each other. They're the rock in this swirling, crazy storyline that's going on. The only thing that they have to hold on to is each other. And I think when you see that on screen, you just immediately, you want to live in that moment for a little bit.
Every girl wants to have that person in their life that they can confide in and who really sees them for who they are and that they can be comfortable with. And Ginny's finally seeing that in him. And I think that's what people will really fangirl about. I mean, also, have you seen his cheekbones? Because
Guess you don't know everything about me after all.
To quote Georgia, do you think Marcus is Ginny's penguin?
I do. I think, I think I was trying to weave in a physical thing that kind of reflects the rest of the relationship, in that Marcus can't really sit still or or focus on anything unless Ginny's in the room. So like it's just a physical thing to ground him, but that's exactly how he feels. He can't focus. Nothing makes sense without Ginny, and that was really fun to play.
One of my favorite things about the show is it is such a realistic look at what it's like being a teenager these days. The storyline with Ginny and the self-harm with the lighter is just going to hit so close to home for so many teens out there. What do you hope that viewers take away from that storyline?
I really want teenagers to know that, especially if they're struggling with something like that, or if they know someone who is struggling with something like that, that they aren't alone and that there are resources for them. One thing that our show runners and our show creators did was made sure that we consulted with Mental Health America, and they saw our episodes, they saw it from start to finish, and they gave us guidance on how to properly portray this very sensitive part of Ginny's life. And, this is for her, this is a specific thing that she does, but it is also something that is very prevalent. And I think I just really want, viewers to, young or old, if that's something that, because this is something that no matter your age, you could be going through. And so I want people to really see themselves in that and know that it's okay to reach out for help, for sure.
I think it's really important to communicate to young people that if you're going through something, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to advocate for therapy, but you don't necessarily know that until you see it. So I think that's why it's so important, and why I was really, really proud and honored to be a part of telling that story, was to have Marcus eventually be one of the only people who was honest about his mental health, honest about having the struggle, and honest about having to get help. And so for me, I was really, really humbled and really privileged to be able to be a part of telling that and communicating to young people that it's okay to reach out.
His usual, Joe, thank you.
Bree, what was your reaction when you discovered that Joe was actually the boy from the rest stop who changed Georgia's life in that one moment? Like, break it down for me.
It's one of my favorite aspects, especially how it is so heartbreaking by the end. He does such an incredible job, Ray does, playing Joe. And it's one of the things I love about Georgia, how coy and sneaky she is in the diner scene in the pilot, where she calls him by his name, but knows he's gonna think it's just because he has the name tag on. She's always 4 steps ahead of everybody.
Does Georgia know it's Joe?
I think so, yeah.
My mom deals with her problems by ignoring them, bundling them up and packing it away.
What would you like to see in season 2 of Ginny and Georgia? What are your biggest questions you want to see answered?
I want to make sure something goes wrong and Ginny comes home. That's the most important thing to me. But also, we are really, really excited to showcase season 1, and this is where our heads are at right now.
Tony, any lingering questions that you're hoping would get answered if we get season 2?
Does anybody know anything at all about Nick? I mean, he's on to her. That's what I want to see. But once again, I'm just kind of like, is he the new PI? Who knows? But I think season 1 is just super fun, and I want people to really enjoy the beginning of this journey like we have.
This is the new thing you're doing now? Hate on mom? Come on, this isn't us. We're like the Gilmore Girls, but with bigger boobs.